Okay, it says I'm doing both things. So, hi there. This is another time with me, Sandra Longmore, and I'm just thrilled to be here today with you. This this just lightens me up doing these broadcasts and being involved with media. One thing leads to another, and lately I have been developing a podcast, which I'm very, very excited about. And if you see the picture here, right. I guess I'm going there. I don't know. But anyway, the lady there that says she, SHE, well, that's called self-help energies or personal development. And I developed that while working with a podcaster uh, group, mastermind kind of group, course with Cliff Ravencraft of the A to Z podcast Answer Man program. And I am just so thrilled to be part of that because great things have happened since then. I have podcasting uh, equipment all over my desk at home that I'm going to spend the weekend putting together. And I'm going to be a regular podcaster on iTunes. So watch for it. The launch should be within a week, um, very soon, very, very soon, hopefully this week. And so there'll be three things I'll be doing: Golden Goddess, which is with the Creating Calm Network, and Ustream, which you're seeing right now, and then She, Self Help Energies for Personal Development. And I am so excited to bring all these things to you. And this week is really a good topic because it's I have reasons why I cannot change my life. Does that kind of ring a bell with you? Well, I'm sure we all have them, but it's amazing what happens when we start to change. So I assume that you're listening to this broadcast today because you would like to know what to do about this. And you may have many, many reasons why you cannot change right now. And all this topic this today is all going to be about why and how to change. And I know you're going to find this broadcast full of solutions, inspiration, and great ideas tailor made just for you. Life is really a ladder by which you go step by step. So stay tuned right now to find out more about that ladder. And this is first, I'm going to switch over to my slideshow. I so enjoy putting together the slideshow because it's the visual, and I am an artist and teach art, so I like the visual. So here we are at Golden Bridge. That's the name of this Ustream under Creating Calm Network. And this is, it's changing names. That's what I said here. So I am going to change names of my program, but it'll still be under the Golden Goddess umbrella when it's over there on the Creating Calm Network. And this is she. This is my artwork that my daughter created, helped me create. And when I was working around with figuring out a title, I came up with She Self-Help Energies because I am an energy master. And also, the feminine is very important to me. I just developed a course with Therese Sally, and we're going to be doing part 2 of that course pretty soon. And it's all about the power of the female and the condition of the female and how to get things done when you're a female. And it's just a great course. I'm sure you're going to be looking forward to that too when we will be offering that for the second time. And I also found that kind of the acronym SHE, Self-Help Energies, really describes my purpose, my purpose in life. And my purpose on that broadcasting will be to uplift and to express self-help energies for personal development. Sounds good to me. And this week's topic, I just talked a little bit about it, but this week's topic is I can't change, even if I tried. Have you felt this way before? Oh my gosh, I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear about how to change because I just can't do it. Well, stay tuned. You're going to find out how. But first, we're going to go into last week's learning. And the real challenge of life is to master daily living. And last week, you learned how to change your story to a hero's journey. And you learned 6 fundamental questions, or FQs, as my grandson Tristan says. And I had a very special um, guest, and that was Mary Lynn Monroe. And she talked about the power of story. And the power of story is so impactful. We hear stories of little children, and they stay with us forever and ever and ever. And so this slide says the power of story. What makes a great story also makes a great life. Isn't that true? So true. Do you remember this one? You remember this one? Yeah. Double click to remember, let's see. Story. Yeah. Remember Tinkerbell and the story of magic and other dimensions and just the story of flying? Oh, I remember this story so well. I just loved it. Well, you learned the importance of story in your life last week with Mary Lynn, and I got this email from her right after we did the broadcast, and she said, um, she felt so energized about being on her path of expressing herself with story. And you know what? This is what happens when you are in alignment with your higher purpose in the world. You feel this flow and happy, and it's moving, and it's a wonderful feeling to have this feeling of being in enlightenment with your soul. So never doubt that you have a purpose in this world, and that your higher self, the most expanded part of you, is clearing the way for you to achieve it. All you have to do is keep your vibration clear and high to match the purpose. They got to match. This is why good, positive, pure energy is good to keep streaming through you, life streaming through you. So look for your highest thoughts you can find and then think about them. If anything else enters your mind, just deflect it. Be like a well-trained athlete and keep your eye on the target and focus. Is it easy? Well, it is and it isn't. Once you have success at this way of thinking and feeling, the way kind of takes care of itself. You just see good wherever you look. But it the isn't part, well, that means it just takes practice and practice. And if you fall off the high feeling thoughts, you fall off the high feeling bird. I like to call the high feeling thoughts the high feeling bride, the high feeling bird. And if you fall off that, then you just get back on again and practice, practice, practice. And sometimes you might have to chill a bit or meditate or take a walk or take a nap and for a fresh go at that good feeling stuff again. But know that it is always possible. Know that it is always possible to lift your energy frequency, and the practice is so worth the effort. It just is. And here is the big BUT. I can't change because, and I'm going to go back to the slideshow because I got some really good slides here. I can't change because, the big but here. Caution. Chaos field, estimated strength, 47 KRZs, whatever that is. Limit exposure to this area and report abnormalities in your life after exposure. I can't change because I am in this chaos field. Look at me, look at my life, look at the rest of everything. And now look at the rest with this very discriminating eyes. Limited exposure to this area and report abnormalities in your life after exposed. Well, ask yourself, what happens? What happens if I don't change? That's the big question. What will happen if I don't change? These are some of the things that might happen. Oh my gosh, hope this isn't you. You remember that diet you thought you might like to go on? Well, sooner or later, you might be in a condition that doesn't feel so good. Maybe your back hurts, or you have high stress. You hit the bottle a little too much, party a little too much, and you just have heartburn. Well, what happens? Ask yourself those questions. What happens if I don't change? Well, what happens if you don't change? It's like a kind of like a dominoes. I'm going to go back to this one. There's consequences, and it's like a dominoes. Like this guy with the dominoes. It just goes and goes and goes. And so, what happens if you don't change? Well, life is like a ladder. I said that before, and I'm saying it again. Life is like a ladder by which you go step by step. And she's climbing up with intention. Balance is always necessary. You can't climb a ladder without balance. And if this next slide I'm going to show you, if this fella can do it, you can do it. I know you can do this. I know I can do this. I can learn how to get some balance. If this elephant can do it, come on now. I know you and I can do it. No matter who you are or at what state of personal development you are at, you can do this. Yes, you can. Remember this life wheel? And so, what is normal balance? Right? Think about that. What is normal balance? Well, normal balance means that different areas in your life, like career and finances and social health, significant other, romance, friends and family and community, and personal spiritual growth and physical environment, they're all at a higher numbers, or they're all in balance. Maybe they'd all be nines, maybe they'd all be eights, but they're all in a normal balance. And that's what balance is normally. And it feels like this. It feels like this. It feels like you're in the flow. You're driving down the road, and with or without a car, and it just feels like flow and balance and so, so nice. So, what does this mean? You stay balanced for a normal state of consciousness? Well, that does sound like a very good thing, Sandra. And it sounds like a very good thing to cultivate, to find out how you do that. Because what underlines everything in life, what is your foundation, is not complete and secure until you get a grasp on balance. So everything that underlines everything else in your life, it's just not very good or very secure until you're balanced. And when balance is achieved and maintained by poise, your poise is standing, and you stand with great posture and confidence and have the experience of an internal knowing of the higher states of consciousness, the idea of higher aspirations. The high positive thoughts are among the fundamental principles that gives you balance. Whew, that sounds good. Well, okay, so what happens when you feel unbalanced? And you feel like, oh, I just have to go, go, go. I'm a busy, busy woman. I got to pick up the kids. I got to cook the dinner. I got to work a job. I just don't have time for those other things, those essentials. Well, you cannot lay emphasis on what is superficial without affecting the course of your destiny. And the wise person knows that when the good and the pleasant things approach, you become alert, and both at the and the good pleasant thoughts at the same time. So you become alert and at the very same time, and discriminating also. So the wise prefers the good to the pleasant, but the foolish chooses the pleasant through love of bodily pleasure. Okay, what do you mean by that mouthful? Well, I'm going to give you another slide there. Number 16. There's discriminating thought. there's the good. The good is is this piece of cake here, and the pleasant, and the good. Sorry, I got that. The good is the carrot. What a big carrot that is. Nummy, nummy. And the pleasant is the uh, big cake here. And so we want to have the good because the pleasant is very short lived. So, in diet choices, it's like choosing a diet that's high in sugars because it tastes sweet over a nutritious diet that feeds your body and keeps you healthy. And, or something like maybe taking a vacation. Say you have a vacation coming up and you want to make a choice. Uh, maybe you want to go to Hawaii or the beach and you just can't quite decide. And so you go to Hawaii on your credit card instead of choosing a vacation to the beach, which is more in alignment with your budget. You chose the pleasant over the good. So, from the practical side, I'm going to switch to the esoteric because wisdom comes from learning the wise ancient ways and then applying them to every day in your life. And this slide is a slide of the Upanishads. And the Upanishads is a very ancient text. And this idea that I'm going to talk about was taken from the Katha, I think that Katha Upanishad. And the Upanishads were collectively considered among the 100 most influential books ever written by the British poet Martin Seymour Smith. Their significance has been recognized by writers and scholars such as Emerson and Thoreau, among others. There are more than 200 Upanishads are known, of which the first dozen are so the oldest and most important and are referred to as the principles of the main Mukhya Upanishad. Mukhya Upanishad provides a foundation for the later schools of Vedanta. And I have been a student of Vedanta for many, many, many years. And this is slide 19. And the Sanskrit term Upanishads translates to sitting down near, or refers to the student sitting down near the teacher while receiving esoteric language or knowledge. And this is the part I like, because words really don't teach. It's the life of the teacher and how their own inner experience unfolds as you live life. The blending of the practical living life and wisdom that is applied to the everyday personality life. Every single day. And you must have certain underlying principles for the balance in life. And when your interest is focused in the higher vibrations in life, like joy, a wholeness will appear. Well, okay, so what's that all about? Yeah, there's true relationships of balance. And there's just this kind of fun wholeness appears, and you feel pretty good about everything. And when your life isn't so much in balance, then there are problems like this picture. So here are the wise going up the ladder. They're going up the top of the ladder, and ones that have been fooled or pulled by the lower frequencies are falling off the ladder or are just holding on for dear life. Have you ever felt that way? Like you're just holding on for dear life, hoping things will change? Well, friend, just swing yourself up there and get up on the top of that ladder and find out what it's like to have balance and have a faith, have a core, have a beautiful part of you come forward. That 96% I always talk about, come forward, and everything will get better from that chance. That choice. You will become more into true relationship. And you will find a true relationship with others when you're in that state. It's really through ego that you hurt yourself because you cannot be unkind or say unkind things to others without hurting yourself more. And it might feel really good to vent at times, But think of the times you did. And how long did you carry around the feeling of regret or shame? And this is because you cannot harm others without really harming yourself. And I'm going to see if I have, yeah, that's my last slide. So you really can't do that without harming yourself. And there I am again. Hi. So you have to learn how to be this master, and it does take practice. And if you have real interest is in the higher thoughts, the more positive thoughts, the more solution-minded thoughts, then the whole life of balance can become more of a reality for you. So I'm going to talk more about what this is about, this topic today. And I always do this little segment. Well, what is this about today anyway? Well, the topic is you have reasons, lots of reasons why you cannot change your life, even though you have a strong desire to change your life. Now, are some of those reasons might be I don't have enough money to do what I want to do. I want to be thin, but diets don't work for me. My children keep running around and I have to run around after them, taking them here and there. So I cannot possibly do what I want to do. Or I have a sick husband or child or parent that I got to take care of. You kind of get the picture? Get the picture? Well, think of this. If you don't get started on what you want, then change will always be in the future, always out there, and you will not be on a path of balance or joy. So let me ask, what is your reason for coming in here in the first place? What did you come to this round planet here, Earth? Why did you come here in the first place? And you were given some gifts. You were born, you had a body, you were given a body, a mind, and you were given a center that's connected to wholeness. Yes, you came from wholeness. You're going to go back to wholeness, that 96%. God got us all it is. You're going to go back, and you came from there. So, what would it be like at this point in your life to get centered around that idea, the 96% of your divine? Well, perhaps you or someone you know is living with struggle and problems, and they are making choices. And they might be creating more struggle and more problems, choosing the same relationships that are full of drama and problems and struggle over and over and over again. Maybe you feel people are pulling on you so that your time is so full, running here and there, putting out fires that you don't have a chance to get to the center. Center? Where's that center? I don't know. I don't think I have one. You do. You really do. So the challenge is not to be distracted by what is happening in front of you or is pulling on you and or is calling to you, but to find your center, that keeps you calm, the 96%. And this is so critical because only from the center, the 96% of you that knows only good, that allows you are worthy, that says you are worthy of all things, can you magnetize, can you bring to you the things you really want? Because whatever you're doing at this point anyway, you're magnetizing to you. You do it all the time. That's the way of creation of our life. It's the law of attraction. And you do have the power to change anything. Use your tools. You have the gift of birth, wise teachings, a wonderful brain, the power to love yourself unconditionally, and this power comes from the compassion for you. Y-O-U, for you. And who you are from the sense of inner freedom. Now, many of you have set up lives for yourself that aren't joyful because you believe you're obligated to others or you're entrapped by your own need for other people to need your help. So we come to another challenge on the path of joy, on the path that will bring you joy. Every person is free at their core. You were born that way. And keeping this strength, faith, you will be free and victorious. And I have a story that's a real life story to tell you more about this idea. And I'm going to switch now to my desktop. Okay, and tell you a story. Let's see, I don't think I can do it right now. Can I do it? Keep all this up here. Okay, so here, and I'm going to change the region. Yeah, I can, I think. Change the region here. I don't know if I can do this or not. How'd I do it before? I'm not sure. All right, anyway. Should have practiced this part. Have to practice it some more. So I'm just going to tell you the story. So do you remember Elizabeth Smart? Do you remember her? Well, she was kidnapped and she was abducted from her bedroom as a teenager in June of 2002 by two people in Salt Lake City, Utah, USA. She was just 14 at the time, and she was found alive 9 months later on March 12th, 2003, in Sandy, Utah, about 18 miles from her home. She experienced many horrible acts from her kidnappers, and it was later revealed during court testimony that Mitchell, her abductor, repeatedly raped her multiple times, and there were drugs. She was 14 years old, so he literally just did a brainwashing on her. And after she was rescued, there was still more that took place with the paparazzi saying, was she smart? Was she so smart? Her name is Elizabeth Smart. Was she so smart that there were times when it seemed like she could be rescued and she wasn't? And there was even Nancy Grace interview. You know Nancy Grace, the television I guess, news lady who can really dig, loves digging in there and getting all the dirt. Well, she even survived not only her abductors, but also after being saved and brought home. She was interviewed by Nancy Grace, and Nancy Grace purportedly talked about a pending legislation and got her on her show because there was this legislation, a bill on sex offenders to be registered. And Elizabeth Smart, she thought that by appearing with Nancy Grace, she could help this bill get passed. And Nancy repeatedly asked her information about her experience and just was really trying to get to the dirt. And Elizabeth just kept her dignity through the thing and said, I am really here to support the bill and not to do what happened to me. When Grace persisted, asking Elizabeth what it's like to see out of her burqa, and she was covered up like here to here, and only her eyes, you could only see her eyes when these people who abducted her walked around with her. So Nancy Grace says, what was it like to not be able to see out of her burqa? And Elizabeth stated, I'm not going to talk about this at this time. And to be frankly honest, I really don't appreciate you bringing all this up. Grace then gave a apology and did not pursue the questioning anymore. So Elizabeth Smart had a reality of being a 14-year-old girl, affluent, naive, sheltered, little Mormon girl, abducted into a completely different reality, completely different circumstances, horrible circumstances. And yet she emerged from all this. This was her circumstances. She emerged victorious. She knew she had that core of well-being. She knew that would help her survive any circumstances and be able to change a situation that could have defeated her made her a victim, not only in her own feelings, but in everybody that saw her in the public eye. And she became victorious. And I really thought about this because as I was preparing for this broadcast, I saw the interview of Elizabeth on television, and I thought, wow, this is one poised, confident woman. There was not a shred of victimhood on her. There was not a shred of, oh, poor me, feel sympathy for me. There wasn't anything like that. She was like an angel, confident and poised. And she spoke with the wisdom of someone who had not let her life experiences let her down. And I thought, wow, this broadcast is about. If you have that inner strength, that inner place in you that you can go to, you know that there's nothing, no circumstances, no problems that can defeat you. And now within Elizabeth's case, not only did she emerge victorious, she has a movie out and a book out now, but she also is able to give back. So she speaks to groups and gives talks and has done this movie and everything. So, I mean, this is great how she just emerged from that. So you can change no matter how bad the circumstances are. You can change, and not only just change, but emerge as a confident, beautiful soul that you were meant to be in God's image. Now, this brings us to a learning point. I'm a teacher, remember? So the path of joy is learning how not to be caught up by these details of form, by what you see, your current reality, to not be caught up by that. And I'm going to repeat that, maybe so I can hear it really good too. The path of joy is not to be caught up by the details of form, no matter how they look. Elizabeth Smart knew that. You know that. I know that. We have all created a play, a creation, and your life is based on it. It may not be absolutely overwhelming, and thank goodness it isn't, like Elizabeth Smart's. But to come into balance, no matter what the circumstances is to learn how not to be trapped by your own creation, but to be uplifted by them. So look at your life. Do you have a job, a relationship, or anything that's not bringing you joy? Well, look inward and ask why you feel you must be in relationship with anything or anyone that does not bring you joy. Often it's because you do not believe you deserve it. Deserve to have what you want. And there is no such thing as deserving in the 96%. You are born deserving. You deserve. And your source, your beloved source, never doubts that you are worthy. And the doorway, one of those tools, the doorway out of where you want to be and into where you want to be and out of where you're at, is imagination. Imagination. The power of the story. Imagination. How are you using your imagination? Your thoughts of future. Are you going through the doorway of the promise of imagination and just to be sidetracked into worry? Are you going to go through the doorway that says joy? So along with using your imagination, become a watcher of your energy. Watch your energy as it shifts. Become of what shifts. Ask what shifts your energy and what direction your energy is going. Be like a real alert person, like a ninja. Watch that energy and see what makes it shift and what makes it not shift or just kind of stay stuck. Say, for instance, for example, a phone conversation. What does your energy do when you let people talk on long past when you would like the conversation to be finished? What does your energy do when you listen to people telling stories when those stories bring down your energy? What does your energy do when you make appointments to see people, even though you do not truly have the time, or when there is a higher purpose, when there is no higher purpose in being with them? To feel joy, you will want to ask why you feel obligated to people or the forms you have created. And how do you do this successfully? Well, it's called the path of compassion. And the path of compassion for yourself does not obligate you to love people regardless of how they act or who they are. It's a path of seeing the truth of who people are and acknowledging all their parts, their humanness as well as their divinity. It's a path of looking at people and asking, is there anything I can bring or I can do to heal, assist, or bring them in touch with their higher vision? If there is not, then you are pulling down your own energy by spending time with them. And some of you help people over and over again and feel really frustrated. You may feel obligated, as if there was no way out except to listen to their tale of woe, wishing that they would get on with their lives and change their circumstances. And if you are helping people and they are not growing, then you better look again to see if you indeed are helping them or if they are capable of receiving the help you are giving. The path of joy involves the ability to receive. And you can surround yourself with love and friends and people who care. You really can. You can have a fit body if you choose. There is so much to be grateful for and appreciate. One of the ways to receive more is to spend time in the appreciation world. Appreciate. Acknowledge even the simplest things to appreciate, like flowers and how they smell, the heartwarming smile of a child, the food you eat. The more you appreciate, the more the universe will send you things to be grateful for. You are a magnet by your thoughts. It's a law of attraction. This is a greatly understood universal principle. Appreciation and gratefulness is a magnet for more of the same. Just take an hour and do that. Take a day and do it. Take a challenge and take a week and do it. And your reality will change considerably. But are you willing to do that risk? Are you? Are you willing to do what you love? Have you been willing to trust the universe to give you the opportunity to do that? And then there is more. Are you prepared to handle money when it comes in? Do you feel you deserve it? Well, the path of joy involves valuing yourself and monitoring where you put your time. If people spent more time only where they accomplish the greatest good for themselves and the people they are with, the world would really change in a day. It's important to spend time in ways that promote your highest good. If something is not for your highest good, I can guarantee that it is not for the highest good of the planet or other people either. So you may ask, what can I do that's going to bring me more joy? Each of you has things that you love to do. There is not one person alive who does not have something that they absolutely love to do. What you love is a sign from your higher self of what you are to do. What is the practical application of what you heard today on today's broadcast? Well, you may have excuses why you can't change your life, but what you want to do is ask yourself what's going to happen if I don't change my life, if I don't change. There are others. You have learned that there are others who have overcome huge challenges, that have found inner courage, inner strength of character to emerge victorious and with poise and compassion for others. Your thoughts can shift through the activating your imagination. Your thoughts can shift through choosing the right door and leave the door of worry shut. Go through the higher frequency, this higher frequency door of joy. Just try it and do it. Do it, do it, do it. Okay, so I'm going to sum it up now. So, what did you learn today? Well, you learned life is a ladder by which you go step by step. So, tuned in and find out more. You know, in this broadcast, you learned the consequence of not overcoming your reasons for not changing. The consequences. Remember the people falling off the ladder? You heard about those who changed their circumstances, even though they were unimaginably impossible to change and maintain their inner knowing, inner faith in something higher than themselves or those around them, like Elizabeth Smart. Life is a ladder, and that means you need to stay in balance to stay on the ladder. And you can do this. Remember the elephant on the ball? You can do this. Being in balance means posture. Your posture in the world and in your inner world. And your posture, your confidence comes from the foundation of what's essential in your life, your inner core, the inner part of you that loves higher thoughts and higher aspirations, the 96% of you that never doubts your worthiness. Every day you have the chance or the choice to stay in balance, live in joy, and climb the ladder a little higher, or hang on to the ladder for dear life as you fill your thoughts with worry and impossibility. I encourage you to step today to find something that makes you feel more balanced, more powerful, as this is your true nature. This balance is what you came into the world to achieve. Do it. Do it. So that brings us to almost the conclusion of my broadcast today. And next week's topic is, do you settle for less? And I'm going to explore this topic with you along with the solutions of how to not settle for less. And I will be sharing more and more of that with you. And know that as I create these broadcasts, that more and more information comes to me and that kind of supplements what the broadcasts are about. So if you have comments too, I would absolutely love to hear them. And I'm going to try this changing region again. And it's not that one. I think it's this one. Okay, here we go. I think, full screen. All right, there we go. Full screen. And then I come down here and I add my Sandra Longmore computer shot. There we go. There it is. I saw it. I saw it. Oh, this is a victorious moment for me because I did see that I didn't have the sound on this desktop. And I wanted to give you more information about how you can contact me. And this was a little bit more about Elizabeth Smart that I already talked about. Anyway, there's Elizabeth. Doesn't she look victorious? She is so poised and wonderful, talking about her life and how she overcame things that she didn't know was possible. And there was lots of information on Elizabeth. These were some interviews that were done. And then this gets back to also how to contact me if you want to talk a little bit more about what's what's for you. What's for you? What kind of do you settle for less? Do you have something to say about that topic? And just email me at sandralongmore@sandralongmore.com, or you can message me, become my friend. Here is my fan page here, Sandra Longmore. And I don't know what that thing is. Whoops. Cancel. There we go. And these are some of my certifications here. Love to hear from you. You could be my friend on my either page. This is my personal page, and that's my husband, Tom. Hi, Tom. And myself when we were on a cruise to Puerto Vallarta. We just loved that cruise. I'm going to go to another one too. We're going to go to an Abraham land cruise. And then this last one here that I'm going to show you is my Golden Goddess program. And the Golden Goddess program is on Tuesdays. That's an audio. And it's on Blog Talk Radio. It's on Tuesdays. And I'm with these two other ladies. This is Evelyn Kalinowski and Carol Hess. And Evelyn's handle here is Inner Affluence. And Carol Hess is the Star Polisher. And this is Sandra Longmore, Creative Visionary. And then this is our music interludes by Diane Hansen. Oh, she is so good. And what we do on that program, it starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And for me, in Pacific Northwest time is, mm, hmm, anyway, it's 3 hours different. So this is the Golden Goddess program. You can also get archives on this. Is a montage of three of us, and we are all Golden Goddesses. That means that we are in our saging years, which is, I guess, over 50. And I'm 71. I think Carol and Evelyn, anyway, we're 3 different decades, and I'm the oldest. I think that's 71, around 60s, and around 50s probably. So we share our wisdom on maturing and aging and saging. And this program is inspirational, information, and spunky. Our audience is the mature woman, but anybody can get this information. And we know it's a favorite of everybody. And we just have lots of fun doing that program. And there are other people here that have programs on the Creating Calm Network, and that's just a quick scroll through of them. And check out as well as the programs about becoming a host yourself. And so you are encouraged to become a host. That's what happened to me. And just interviewed me on a radio program about a book I was in and contributed to. And what do you know? Here I am on this media path of having more and more media and being more in front of the camera and in front of the iTunes and all that. So it's fun. Life is just fun. So, get involved if you want. If you think maybe you'd like to become a host, a radio host, you can. You can do anything you want. You could sign up. Or if you want to just hear about the program and what's good and what you might like to tune in on, go right here to this Creating Calm Network and fill out this information right here where you can receive the program guide. And, don't miss an episode. The guide is really fun too. It comes once a week on Sundays. So this is me now, and I am signing off. I am going to put this down here and give you another headshot of me. There I am. So this is Sandra Longmore, self-help energies for personal development, called She. So tune in next week, and I will have this brand new topic, and whatever has collected around the idea of the topic, of have you settled for less? So bye for now. Have a fabulous week.